Hi, good morning. Our recipe today is going to be using our scone mix that we sell online. We sell at the store here for you to take home. A lot of times people don't live close or they want to get shipped. We ship our bread products all over the country, but we don't ship baked goods. So this is a way for you to take our baked goods and bring them home to you. We're going to make our gluten-free scone mix. This also includes a vegan variety, a vegan variation. If you look on the back of the bag here, they will tell you what ingredients are needed, all of the method, and then there is at the bottom here a vegan option. So the ingredients in the bag are listed below. It's our normal flour mix, so I already dumped it in here. It's white rice flour, brown rice flour, tapioca starch, potato starch, and it also has organic cane sugar, baking powder, xanthan gum, and salt. So all of that you're just gonna dump into your bowl. And the ingredients that you will need to provide from home are the following. It's going to be 3 ounces of salted butter. And what I did is it's super cold, that's how you want it. And I already small diced it. So you just want it in little tiny cubes. It'll just make it a little bit easier for when you're mixing it. 1 large egg, 5 ounces of sour cream. And like I said, there is a vegan variation. You would use vegan cream cheese for that. And for the butter, you would just use a vegan butter substitute. And then you're gonna have some sort of extract that you'd like. Today we're making almond, if you know, you know. How much I love almonds. And so I have almond extract here, and then in this bowl I have a mixture of toasted almonds and crumbled up almond paste. Oh my God, could anything be better? So what we're gonna do is we are gonna mix our flour mix together, and then we're gonna put our fat in there, so that would be our butter. So what we normally do at the bakery when we're making huge batches of scones is we use our food processor. So you'd put the flour in, you put the butter in, and you just pulse it just a little bit until the butter pieces resemble like peas. You want it to be pretty small pieces. We don't normally do it with our hands because most of the time your hands are pretty warm. Mine are not because it's freezing in here. And also, you don't want to probably have to dirty your food processor and all these bowls and all these things at your house. So if you want to do it by hand, just make sure that the butter's really cold. Make sure your hands aren't super warm, and you just want to work with it quickly so you don't heat up the butter and melt it. You don't want the butter to be warm. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on some gloves and we're going to start that next. We've got our gloves on, so you're going to take your bowl and take all the butter that you have diced up and mixed in here. And what you're gonna do is just mix it with your hands. You wanna make sure that you sort of squeeze it between your fingers. I don't know if you've ever made pie dough, it's kind of the same method. You just wanna squeeze it a little bit until it breaks up into small pieces. We sell a ton of scones here. We make a regular gluten-free version and a vegan gluten-free version every single day. We sell so many. They have become my probably favorite baked good that we make here. They're really low in sugar, unless you're adding an almond paste today like I am, or you're adding in chocolate chips, you know, that'll up the sugar a little bit. But they're really a low sugar item. They're great with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. One of my other favorite flavors is espresso chocolate chip. In that one, we add a little coffee extract, some ground espresso, and some mini chocolate chips. So that's also a delicious one. Or there's apricot, blueberry. The substitutions are endless for these scones. All right, so this only really will take a few minutes. You're just making a small batch. So really, once the butter is you just want to keep squeezing it until it resembles smaller pieces. We say peas because that's just sort of the standard. And if there's a few extra pieces, who doesn't, want to eat a piece of a scone with a little butter pocket in it? No one's mad at that. So here, if you look, it's pretty well mixed. If there's any little big piece there, as you're mixing it, you just break it up a little bit. It doesn't really matter. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna mix in all the other additions, and then we're going to get these nice and cold and then bake them and probably eat one shortly after. We've got our bowl with our flour mix and sugar and baking powder, and then we're going to add in our sour cream. The egg I just whisk up a little bit with our spatula. You can certainly mix it in with the sour cream as well, but I just want to mix it up so it's not a full egg going in there. Make sure you scrape all the bowls down. We're going to add in our almond extract. Now, if anybody here knows me from the bakery, which I'm sure a lot of you do, my love of almond paste, almond extract, almonds, almond anything is all over our Instagram page. Since I'm the one that does most of our social media, if you hear someone saying that they love almonds or anything related to the almond family, that is me. So when I figured today I'm gonna be taking these scones home, since we're not open today, to eat, or maybe put in my freezer, maybe I'll share some, we'll see. I figured I'd make my favorite flavor. So what you do is you're just gonna mix this in the bowl. And I mean, it really comes together quite quickly. You don't want to overmix. You never want to overmix scones. You really just want to get the liquid and the dry ingredients together. And the next thing I'm going to do is add in my almonds and almond paste. And this is where I would actually just mix this with a glove on. You can certainly use a spatula, but I do think it is a little bit easier. Then you can crush up the almonds a little bit. So if you see, it's a little bit sticky, which is really what you're looking for. You want it to be a nice moist scone. So what you're gonna do now is we are gonna take a half sheet pan, cookie sheet, whatever you've got at home, and we are gonna put a piece of parchment. We pretty much use parchment for everything. Because it helps get things off the pan, it's less cleanup, it's a lot of things. And we're just gonna spray our pan. We use a non-GMO, allergen-free spray. You just wanna spray it so it doesn't stick. At the bakery, we do almost everything in scoops. That just keeps portion control. But you can certainly use a couple of spoons, whatever you have, it does not matter. And we normally do them in a big gray scoop because our portions for a scone is very big. But since I'm taking these home today, I don't want to be eating 100 big scones. So I'm just going to do a yellow scoop. And so what you're going to do is you're just going to make a nice tight scoop. Now, if you wanted triangle scones, you certainly could shape them into rounds and then cut them in triangles. Our regular scones at the bakery are always in rounds and our vegans are always in triangles. The dough for the vegan, I think, is a little firmer, so it is easier to put it into a triangle. And also, we are always concerned with cross-contamination, and we just don't want people to get, if they have a dairy allergy or an egg allergy, we certainly don't ever want any issues here. So what we try to do is just do them in 2 different shapes. So there's never a problem. Vegan scones are always triangle, regular scones are always round. All right, so we're just gonna scoop these up. And then what we're gonna do is before we bake them, we're gonna put them in our fridge for probably just 10 minutes. You just wanna make sure that the butter comes, because you are handling this quite a bit, you wanna make sure that the butter comes back to being very cold before you bake it. That'll just give you the nice layers in the scone that you're looking for. Or if you've ever made a biscuit at home or anything, that's kind of the same thing that you're looking for. All right, so we're gonna scoop these. And then if you always, sometimes they're not always even. It's not like it always makes 6 yellow scoops or 7 yellow. A lot of the recipes they say, oh, they make 12 to 14 because sometimes you add in extra fillers. So you can always just throw a little bit extra on the corner there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spray my one hand here because I just don't wanna change gloves 80 times. I'm not looking to be wasteful. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna press your scones down into a round. They bake way better that way. You just want you just want everything to be consistent. So you don't want one scone to be bigger than the other. Like this little extra one that's teeny tiny, I'm probably just gonna eat that, so what does it matter? But you want them, because everything's gonna have to cook in the oven at the same time. So you certainly don't want one scone that's a huge dome and then one scone that's flat, because it's gonna cook on the top and get a little bit crispy, and the center's probably not gonna be cooked at all. So you wanna make sure that when you're putting things in the oven, they're all consistent. We take our cookies out, we get them to room temperature, we press them down, and then they all bake at the same shape and size. It just makes things consistent and cooks better, cooks evenly. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar on top of these before I bake them, but I'm gonna put them in the fridge first for about 10 minutes, just to let them not be so warm to the touch. So we'll see you back soon. Welcome back. So the scones that we made just came out of the fridge. They were in there like 10 minutes or so. And what we're gonna do is we just take a little bit of sugar. You don't have to do this. This is just makes a nice little crust on the top. We put a little bit of sugar on top of each scone. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna bake them in a 400-degree oven for 8 minutes. Flip them, turn it down to 350. And it's gonna be, these normally it's 8 minutes and then about 4 minutes for our regular big scones, but these might be done after the 8 minutes because they are so small. But on the back of your bag, it will tell you how to make normal sized scones. I believe it's 8 minutes and then 4 minutes at 350. But we're gonna put ours in and we're just gonna see what happens. I cannot wait to eat these. All right, let's go to the oven. We're gonna put our timer on for 8 minutes and we'll see you soon. Hi everybody. So the scones have cooled just a little bit and they are pretty amazing if you eat them warm. So I just let them cool for a couple of minutes. So we're gonna take one here and just break it open. Oh my God, you can even see this. But there's big chunks of almond paste in there and it's got that nice layering. So we're just gonna have to take a bite because this is just what our cooking show is gonna be, of me taking a bite of things. Oh my God, so good. So make sure if you make these at home, I'm gonna put a link in the show for where you can purchase on our website all these mixes and you can follow along. If you've made these, please let us know. Make sure you comment, subscribe, all the things. The more that you guys like these videos, the more that we can keep making them. So thanks again, we'll see you soon.